Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's video. It's Victoria with Nutrition by Victoria. For those of you who don't know me, I have a Master's of Science in Human Nutrition, and I am here to help you build a high-functioning metabolism through a high-carb diet. Okay, so carbohydrates are still being demonized by everyone, probably at an all-time high, because it conflicts with the keto carnivore agenda that is really popular right now. So we have like two extremes, right? High fat, low carb diet, or is it a high carb, low fat diet? I have heard so much misinformation in regards to carbohydrates. It's actually really disturbing. You have medical doctors and other professionals, metabolic professionals, telling you that it is carbohydrates that are driving high insulin levels when we all know that that is not true. So today's video, we are just going to be talking about this because it's my favorite subject, and it really is the make or break between whether you are going to get the results that you desire and have food freedom and life freedom, or are you going to be chained to the keto path of constantly having to manipulate your diet and starve in order to get the results, the aesthetic results, right? So we are going to play around on my YouTube channel today and just go over some content. Yeah, so okay, let's see here. What have I been watching is the question. Okay, so there's some of the shorts that I have been putting up. Uh-oh. So here is Natasha. She is a high carb, low fat gal, has been very slim her whole life because she has eaten a high carb, low fat diet. This is what I currently look like. Well, you guys saw at the beginning of the video, but this is me on vacation. You know, I'm 37 years old and I've had 3 kids. I'll be 38 in a few months, actually. And, you know, I'm pretty proud of the way that my results are, considering, you know, all the children that have went through my body and all the hormones from that. You know, a lot of women have trouble bouncing back after they have a baby because the hormones do a real number on your system. It's taken me a long time after this third one to get tightened back up because the hormones from pregnancy and then breastfeeding kind of make everything a little bit more lax just by default. So something to consider. So we are going to watch this video here. Actually, the Lionel Sanders. No, we'll watch the snake diet with Durian Rider. Okay. There's probably going to be an ad. So for those of you who don't know, let's pull up the snake diet guy, Cole Robinson. He actually mentioned me in one of his videos. Because he jumped on the bandwagon of high carb, low fat because it works. Okay, so let's see here. This guy is a bit extreme too, and I think that's why people like watch him.
Today I'm going to teach you fat pigs how to make super snake juice so you can starve the shit out of yourself for rapid weight loss. Let's begin.
Okay, so I guess he's really popular with this like snake juice. He looks like he's lost quite a bit of weight, and that's because he went on a high carb, low fat diet. And let's see here. Yeah, let's see. Okay, it looks like there's a before and after here. I like seeing that. Okay. Let's see if he actually shows it though. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay, so we got a little bit of a before and after. Yeah, for Cole Robinson. Okay, so before and after, and let's hear what he has to say about what he has done to get there.
Hey, fatty! Sugar addiction gets you shredded, you fat pigs!
Sugar addiction gets you shredded, you fat pigs. Oh my gosh. I mean, the thing is 2/3 of the adult population in the United States is overweight or obese. So, I mean, that's 2 out of every 3 people that are watching his channel. So, I guess it's appropriate. But he's right. Sugar does get you shredded. It promotes insulin sensitivity.
Pigs! Sugar in the absence of fat gets you shredded. No caffeine, crazy fucking energy for
He's right. Okay. And do we remember why? We're going to pull up the dietetic factors influencing glucose tolerance here and just throw a little bit of scientific research with this concept of sugar, shredding people out. I mean, the thing is it's really hard. It's really hard to overeat sugar too, because what happens when you eat a high carb, low fat diet and you let yourself eat as much as you want and as much as your body needs and craves, you turn off de novo lipogenesis, you increase your insulin sensitivity. And why? It's because sugar tolerance is impaired by starvation, glucose starvation, or the taking of diets with a high content of fat, while it is improved by taking diets containing an excess of carbohydrates. So you put the carbs in, you get rid of the fat in your diet, you improve your insulin sensitivity, and you naturally just get shredded. Okay. So we're going to go back to Durian Rider's video here. Okay. Leave a comment below if you guys follow the snake juice diet guy. I find him, I can't really watch his content because, you know, it's a little crazy, but I do love that his message has shifted to favor carbohydrate. So, it's all like about the experiment too. I get so many clients or just followers who come back to me and say, your information changed my life. Like I started eating this way, high carb, low fat, and I have so much more energy. I've lost the weight. I sleep better. I feel better. My libido's better. And it's all because what you're doing is just giving your body what it needs in order to function properly. So, it's important to get the information out there for you guys. And it's all in my coaching program. Link is in the description of this video, explaining how this all works, but it's really basic. Your body runs on sugar. So what you should eat is carbohydrate, sugar, fruit, sugars, starches, okay? Because those are all the carbohydrates, naturally occurring carbohydrates. If you are storing too much fat, if you have too much fat on your body, then you don't eat fat. Fat you eat becomes the fat you wear. So it's just like really basic. If you're teaching a child this, you would say, your body runs on sugar, so you should eat sugar. And if you don't want to have a lot of fat on your body, then you don't eat foods that have a lot of fat. It's very basic. Okay. So we are going to listen to Harley talk today. I really I've always enjoyed Harley's content because his message is just so clear and it's so down to earth. He uses science to explain, some of his content information, but he also just uses real world experience. And I feel like science, if you're a scientist or a healthcare person, provider, medical doctor, whatever, a lot of them, like, so, because some people ask me, well, how do these there we go. How do these people who have studied the same information as you just like tell people the opposite, right? Tell people to not eat too many carbs and to eat more healthy fats and to have more protein. Well, it's because they are just reading literature that is been manipulated in some kind of a way to favor, the agenda, right? And on paper, lowering carbohydrates will produce better blood sugar results initially, taking the sugar out of the diet, right? But ultimately, you are just adding fuel to the fire. Okay, so it's like you have an injury and um, instead of rehabbing that injury, you just choose not to use that arm. And maybe you shouldn't use your arm. Let's say you have a shoulder injury. Maybe you shouldn't use it for a few days after you've sustained the injury, but ultimately you need to get back to using it, and you need to do it in a correct way that builds the joint back up, builds the musculature so that you can perform now in a way where it's going to, protect it. But, so taking the sugar out of the diet will, alleviate the initial, high blood glucose that is occurring from somebody having insulin resistance. But it doesn't get rid of the insulin resistance. You have to address the cause, and you have to, do the appropriate rehab measures, right, to build insulin sensitivity. Okay, let's listen to Harley talk.
Incredibly lean, incredibly lean snake diet. Let's talk about the snake diet, bro. We're here in South Australia. Adelaide is 3rd of March, whatever it is here. You see the vascularity here. Cole, is it Cole Robinson? I don't get it right. Snake diet, bro. The guy who screams to the camera. We love it. We love the energy he gives. Now he's promoting sugar diet. He's basically promoting what I've been teaching for years: Kempner stuff, Harold Hemsworth stuff, McDougall stuff, a bit of Doug Graham stuff, a bit of on and on and on. High carbohydrate, and it's great. But what I've brought to the world is that actually, forget me. Let's talk about snake diet, bro. It's great to see someone admit they were wrong. I love being wrong. I love.
Yeah, so what Harley's referring to is the snake diet guy was doing the keto diet, the carnivore diet, prior, and he implemented this snake juice because it was like an electrolyte that allowed him to, sustain the keto diet, because the keto diet dehydrates you tremendously. And then Cole must have came across the snake diet guy, Cole Robinson must have came across Harley and then was like, oh wait, like look how ripped up this guy is, like I want those results. And luckily Cole wasn't so like fixated on keto being the way, right? And he flipped the script and now, has the results.
Love being wrong because it means I found a better way. I love being proven wrong, right? If I can be proven wrong, I'm just like, yeah, hallelujah. I love it. So what I love about this snake diet,
I can relate too, because I've had to trial and error everything also. You get started on a path, especially with your diet, where you're like, okay, I want to have these aesthetic results, I want to lose weight, and I want to improve my health. And so you go down the path of, going through fad diets and what's popular, and then, what does the scientific literature say? And then, you find all this stuff that doesn't work. And it's usually through failure, which failure is really just a learning experience, where you figure things out. And I think that That's what I really enjoy about Harley is that he, tests everything. And then I've done the same as well. So that's how you really figure things out. And even with being on a high carb, low fat diet, it's important to trial and error, figure out what's going to work best for you within the parameters of the diet and lifestyle.
All right, bro. Cole, he has that humbleness to go, damn, I was wrong. And he's trying things out. This is why I speak with such conviction, because I'm almost 50 coming up soon. And I've done every diet under the sun. If not me, close friends of mine have done diets. Because I've seen some diets and thinking, no, that's dangerous, that's dodgy, right?
Yeah, that's me included, except for I've never done the carnivore diet.
I ain't doing that. But look, I've had close friends do it, and then maybe they got cancer, maybe they got a heart attack, maybe they got a stroke. I was like, damn, I dodged a bullet.
And that's honestly the beauty of working with the clients that I work with as well, is that they bring their experience to the table too, of which a lot of it I can relate to, like what they are experiencing now, in terms of like having metabolic damage, following calorie restriction or low carb eating, or like dealing with the initial weight gain, or like a lot of my clients right now are ex carnivores and just seeing the patterns, the similarity in the blood work coming from that diet. It's all just knowledge to be gained, based on the experience of, myself and others, and seeing like how the body truly responds to what you do to it.
So, look, I am obsessed about nutrition, about feeling good. Ever since I was a kid, finishing last at the sports day, the running races, I was always going to be a good runner, and I was like last in school. Right? So I was obsessed about why do some kids go fast and why am I so crap? Why can't I breathe properly? And so that led me to nutrition, even to this day. And you can see I've cut a lot of weight recently because I've really driven the fat and the protein even lower and lower and lower. Okay, just to get my VO2 max up because it's January to run the stuff and some rides and all that.
Yeah, I recently lost like a chunk of weight. I'd say I'm almost down 3 kilograms now. And it's from adding more sugar into my diet. Um, I was eating more like fruit and starches there. And then my workload picked up and I wanted to get fitter. And I was like, kind of struggling to make everything work, and I was like, okay, I got to add more sugar in. And so I started adding sugar to my juice in the morning. And what I noticed is that after adding sugar is that most things, they're not sweet enough anymore. And so by bumping up the sugar um, intake of my diet, I lost more weight. um, I've had improvements in my fitness. I'm just more calm. I'm also sleeping better. And I just feel like I'm not experiencing as much like cortisol. And also, it's really just tuned me into how much sugar is missing from our food, because I really feel like sugar is like salt, okay? Where if you're adding salt, if you cook your food without salt, and then you're like, oh, I can't really eat this. And then you add some salt to taste, right? Then you're like, oh, this is really good. The salt is what it needed. Well, it's the same thing with the sugar, you don't have to like dump like tons of sugar into your food. But if you taste it and you feel like it could use a little boost, and like when I was just on vacation, I was I always had these like sugar packets in my purse, and if I drink like a juice and it wouldn't be that sweet enough, I'd add sugar to it. But I did come across a few things that were properly sweet. I had a really good papaya, a really good watermelon, and a really good passion fruit like icy. It was so yummy and it had sugar already added to it. But that's just something to kind of play around with yourself and know that adding sugar to your diet actually makes you more insulin sensitive. This was proven in the dietetic factors influencing glucose tolerance. If you read through this whole PDF file, they talk about that and how adding more glucose to the diet um, helped insulin to work better and cleared blood sugar levels faster. So like cleared at lowered blood sugar levels faster. So taking the sugar out of the blood and putting it into the cells, which is what insulin does. So we'll listen to Harley talk a little bit more, and then I'll probably wrap this up. But it feels good to be back. My vacation was great. I've hoped that you've enjoyed some of the clips that I put up. I am still recovering from having a sinus infection. So once that kind of goes away completely, then I will be back at it. Okay, let's listen.
Set some PRs. I set PR in the 5,000 meter recently. But I had a bit of a rotator cuff injury from a bit of a fall, a bit of playing around there, just mucking around. So I'm able to train up. So I've been relying on nutrition to stay ultra lean, right?
And that is how we stay lean. You can't out exercise a bad diet. Now, exercise can definitely make your results come a lot faster. When you're working on improving your 5K times, when you're doing a weekly time trial. That's what I also started implementing. Was I'm running a 5K time trial once a week. And I feel like that's really changing my metabolism and improving my insulin sensitivity as well. But it all comes down to your diet. It has to have the foundation of being high carb, low fat, if insulin sensitivity and weight loss and being lean effortlessly is the goal. Because fat and protein, they promote insulin resistance. They increase IGF-1 levels in the body, which promotes growth. It's an anabolic hormone stimulation. So if you want to be lean, you got to eat high carb, low fat.
And people say, that's using anabolic steroids and stuff, which I've used in the past because my weight's cut down because I've stopped those things. So I'm trying to get my weight lower and lower and lower. Will I ever be able to get to 59 kilos again? I'm currently about 72 kilos. I'm 6 foot 183. Here, I'm talking about myself again. We'll get back to snake guide in a second. But will I be able to get 59 kilos again? Maybe I did use too much tren and that just added the muscle. And so maybe I won't be able to get to that low weight.
Harley also tells women too that if they've ever used the hormonal birth control, that can change your body enough that you will always sit at a higher weight than you would if you've never taken it. And it has the same idea of being a steroid, right? You take a steroid and like an anabolic steroid, and you're likely going to hold more weight than you would have without it. So in his case, his natural body weight now sits higher than it was before he started taking anabolic steroids.
Wait, who knows? Time will tell. But steroids don't make you lean. If steroids made you lean, then why is Joe Rogan looking like a sausage?
I also took hormonal birth control when I was younger. I took it from about the age of 16 to, I'd say, 22 is when I stopped taking it. So that's 6 years of taking hormonal birth control during a time where I was still developing as a woman. So I was going through, hormonal changes, and it's possible that that made my body a little bit different taking a steroid in the form of estrogen than I, would have maybe looked aesthetically otherwise. It's hard to say. Hormonal birth control too is bad news. I mean, it's correlated with developing like breast cancer and all kinds of other bad things. So, if you can avoid it, it's for the best.
You know what I mean? Why do most testosterone users look like sausage bros and have to do clenbuterol and thyroid meds and purging and just craziness, stimulant abuse, and just all this nonsense. Okay, steroids don't make you lean. Steroids build muscle and pop you up and pop you out. That's what I do.
Yeah, a lot of these influencers, male influencers too, who take steroids also promote a lot of fasting, intermittent fasting, low carb dieting, because they're trying to look lean. And I don't know why they just don't listen to Harley, because he was super lean while taking anabolics, because of the diet that he eats. But there's a difference in metabolism, though. When you eat high carb, low fat, you're supporting your metabolic health. And then when you're eating low carb and fasting, we are promoting insulin resistance here. So we've got slowed metabolic rate and promotion of fat storage. So it's unsustainable.
Steroids made you lean, then why is Ozempic so popular and trend isn't? Okay.
And the thing with Ozempic too, it's such a hot commodity right now. I know people personally who take it, and all I hear all over the radio are ads for it. This diet is Ozempic. Okay. You get to eat yourself slim, without any negative side effects, without any damage to your body systems. Like, nobody knows what the long-term side effects of taking Ozempic are. And they tell people you can take this drug for life. Well, what are the implications on your health, though, especially pancreatic function? Because you're basically forcing your body to be insulin sensitive at the expense of your metabolic health. So, only time will tell with that one.
Those things add muscle. They make the scale go up, the numbers go up. So me on train, I got to 85.3 kilos and lean. Okay. So that's what they do, is they add weight to you.
So one thing that I really appreciate about Harley is his transparency with his experiments, with taking steroids, and just to see how his body responded, just to see the results, and how much he emphasizes that our aesthetic is influenced by our hormones. And he advocates for natural hormone production, particularly if being lean and slim is your goal, because you need all of your hormones to be primed, your thyroid hormone, your insulin, your sex hormones. You need all of them to be in balance in order to maximize your potential for having a ultra lean body and the health to go with it.
They don't take weight off you. Steroids were designed to add weight to people who had sarcopenia or cancer or terminal conditions, or they're a prisoner of war victim and they're trying to build them back up. They give them steroids to gain weight. Okay, gaining weight. Most people want to lose weight watching content. Snake diet, fantastic. So he's promoting the sugar thing. What I'd say, Cole, is if you want to get the most ripped, bro, all right, if you want to get the most vascular, if you want to smash the weight down, hammer it down, cut the animal products, bro. Lean meat, that shit just sits in your gut. It rots inside. It rots your microbiome. It doesn't feed the good thing. We are not meat eaters by design. I'm in the city here, okay? I'm in the city here. Got Michelle there, she's a lean one. All the girls you see in my videos, all super lean. I'm in the city here. There's pictures of
Michelle from China in the background there. Get Fit with Natasha, who you guys saw at the beginning of this video in the pink dress. That's Harley's girlfriend, and she has, really amazing aesthetic results. What I'll say about what he's about to discuss is I 100% agree. Humans are not meant to eat animals, but I will say, though, that when you are transitioning from a keto carnivore diet to a high carb, low fat diet, some of my clients prefer to do that with having lean protein animals at the end of the day with dinner. I believe Cole Robinson, the snake diet guy, does the same. And one of my clients just let me know that he has, lost weight and is feeling really better. doing this where you're eating like carbs all day, and then your dinner at night is, you know, rice and then some kind of lean protein and vegetables, right? You can get really good results doing that, but you'll have better results cutting the animal protein, because then you're cutting the hormones out as well. And you're cutting, like, even lean animal tissue still contains a decent whack of fat that's going to interfere with your body's ability to maximize its insulin sensitivity.
Around here, right? There's pigeons around here. How often you walk around the city and you see a dead pigeon, a squashed pigeon, poor pigeons? Did you ever go, oh, mate, I want some lean protein there, some lean meat, pigeon? Imagine that. Imagine if I was eating a pigeon on camera. Eat lean protein, though, help me. So we're not designed to eat meat. We eat meat. We eat animals. We fucking just don't think. A lot of people across the street don't look left, both. They just see people at the street light.
Okay. So, I mean, he's right. We, as humans, we're not designed to eat meat. We don't need to eat meat. We, like, the humans eating meat is a conditioning, okay, that has been put on us since we were small, little babies, not knowing, you know, what to eat. And so we're just fed these little pieces and secretions of animal tissue, dead animal tissue, and their, you know, what came out of their butts and and mammary glands. You know, we don't know any better, so we're just gobbling it up because that's what's on the plate, right? And usually it's like seasoned in a way where it's tasty, whatever. I have raised 3 children so far, and I'm currently raising a 1.5-year-old, and he wants his carbs. So there is an innate connection between humans desiring carbohydrates, because our breast milk is the sweetest of any other mammal. So we have a programmed desire for carbohydrates. So feed the kids carbohydrates. I also notice in my children that there is not a desire to eat animals like that are alive. Okay, my children have never tried to eat the dogs. They've never tried to, like, you know, there's no instincts there to try to kill another creature, because we are not designed to do that. Whereas like a puppy would do that. It would eat these dead pigeons off of the road. It would nibble up your hand so much that it would make it bleed, and it would lick up the blood and, you know, try to eat your finger if you didn't stop it. So I think that people lose that, and that's what Harley's getting to, is that, like, people need to use logic when it comes to determining what it is that we're supposed to eat versus conditioning and just doing what, you know, you're told to do.
On the crosswalk, and the little man goes red. There's no cars coming. People just sit there like.
It looks like we got to add. Oh boy. I'm going to wrap this up soon, but you know, it's good to see that more and more people are hopping on the high carb, low fat bandwagon, because, you know, that's where it's at.
Left and right, just like waiting for the green light to go so they can walk. Me, I'm looking left, right. Is it safe? I don't give a fuck if it's red or green. If it's safe, I'm going. Time is money. Money's time. Okay. You see people.
That's how I like to operate life too, you know. You have to lead with logic, and analyzing, you know, the situation. And a lot of us have been taught to just follow the rules, as opposed to, and, you know, rule following can be important as well, but you also need to be able to navigate the world based on your own perception.
And then when the light goes green, little walking guy, they don't even look left and right. They just go. The next, an opioid stolen car driver, boom, you know, takes them out. Oh, I was just crossing the road. Didn't look left, didn't look right. Just wait for the little green man. So just
Yeah, and you don't even need somebody on drugs these days to be just taking you out. You've got people with their cell phones. It's almost as bad. That's why it's important to wear high vis gear when you're out on your bike, ride in safe areas. Even when you're driving your car, like driving defensively so you're aware of what's going on, always checking out the situation. And that's what is Harley's strong suit too, is just his ability to really perceive his environment well and know what people need in order to be healthy.
Waiting for authority to tell you what to do. Me, I'm looking left, I'm looking right. It's my life, it's my time. Okay, can't get time back. Once you lose it, it's gone. So that's what nutrition, people just like, what does the screen tell me to do? No, we're not thinking critically. Not deep diving into the work of Walter Kempner or Harold Hemsworth or the Kenyans today who are running these record times for Ugandans, Ethiopians. What diet do they eat? What diet does the fastest cyclist in the world eat? Oh, sure, there's drugs involved. But you can take all the drugs in the world you want. If you don't have enough sugar to the muscle, your insulin resistance is too high, your lungs can't operate properly because you've got insulin resistance in your lung tissue. Isn't that crazy? Insulin resistance in your lung tissue, that's actually a thing. You can't breathe properly. The red blood cells are getting stuck together, coagulating, aggregating. Can't get the oxygen going around. So when we cut the fat from our diet, performance goes up. So Cole, cut the meat. We're not designed to eat meat, right? The less meat humans eat, the leaner we get, the lighter we get. It's just fact, man. Right? I've done the experiments, man. You wouldn't believe the stuff I've done personally since freaking when I started tweaking nutrition back in 1990, man. I was tweaking nutrition. I was doing nutrition experiments on myself in 1990. I used to go to McDonald's with my dad.
Okay. So I think we got the gist. I'll let you guys watch Harley's full video. But I think what he's trying to get at here is that so many of us just like go on Google and we're like, how do we lose weight? Right. And the first thing it says is cut your calories and eat more protein and healthy fats and stuff like that. When, you try that and then it doesn't work because let's be honest, that's what most of us do, right? um, that's what I did. I followed all the generic, baseline information. And then when I realized that it didn't do me any good with my gut health or any of that, then I had to, take the reins and figure it out for myself. So once you do that too, and um, figure out what works, which I'll save you the time. It's a high carb, low fat diet. You find that it is backed up by research as well. So this is the H.P. Hemsworth, the dietetic factors influencing the glucose tolerance and the activity of insulin. This is peer-reviewed literature. This guy is the reason why we have an oral glucose tolerance test. Okay, because of his findings. And that's why it is the gold standard. And this is what I don't understand either, is there is like the cognitive dissonance just so strong that if we are using a concentrated glucose solution to diagnose insulin resistance and then telling people because they failed the test to have less sugar in their diet, how does that even make sense? Okay. Wouldn't you think that, okay, well, then let's refer back to, Hemsworth's actual work here and say, okay, well, why would somebody's sugar tolerance be impaired? And, okay, because they aren't taking in enough carbs and their diet's too high in fat. Okay, well, that makes sense. And then, give those recommendations. And the next time somebody takes the test, okay, now everything's good to go. And you can do an oral glucose tolerance test at home. You take 50 grams of sugar, which is a quarter cup, and you put it in some water. Probably like 8 ounces would be a good sugar bomb right there. You drink that down and you check your blood sugar 2 hours later. And, if you are under 140, you are insulin sensitive. So these are objective measures that you can use at home to see where you're at. And I really encourage people to do the experiment, like don't just trust the science, figure out what works, do the experiment on yourself is what I'm saying. So that you can find what does work the best. I mean, that's what I had to do, and I settled down on this because it just ticked all the boxes. All the research lines up, all the science lines up, and like I said, you can find all the information available in my coaching program, link in the description of this video. I also offer coaching services. I do one-on-one coaching, and I also have a private Facebook coaching group where I answer your questions, help you troubleshoot what's going on, help you design a diet that's going to work best for you, help you understand what your body's going through metabolically as you generally shift from being insulin resistant to insulin sensitive, because most of us, because of the diet advice that we've been receiving for the last 3 decades, it's been encouraging us to be insulin resistant. So is it ironic that that has been the, message when chronic disease rates have been continuing to rise? I'll leave that up to you guys to make that uh connection or answer that question. So anyways, thank you so much for watching today's video. Leave any comments or questions down below. Let me know what you'd like to see from me this week, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.